Hi there, students, and welcome to the latest news in English with Tutor Tom for 13th of September 2023. So I've got an article today that I really enjoyed reading today. It highlights the power of technology when it comes to educating people, specifically educating people from undeveloped countries. So let's go through this because it's really interesting. And also there's lots of fantastic words to add into your vocabulary. So the title of the article is The App Teaching Somalis to Read and Write. Hoden Artan is patching up the roof of her home, sewing together pieces of fabric of different colours with blue string. She works as a cleaner in Somaliland's capital, Hargeisa. With the little money she earns, a mud hut with a cloth roof flapping in the wind is all the 23-year-old single mother can afford for herself and her baby daughter. Until recently, she did not think she could aspire to anything more. When I was a child, I couldn't afford to go to school. Neither could my parents, she says. Miss Artan was never taught to read or write. Then, a few months ago, she found out about an app called Dariz, which, according to their user data, has now taught over 410,000 people across the Horn of Africa to do just that. Encouraged by her friends, she started studying on her phone in her spare time and, in just over 2 months, has made remarkable progress. The young mother is now able to read and fully comprehend some short stories in Somali. Her case is far from unique in Somaliland, a place that has long struggled with illiteracy. The region declared independence in 1991 in the course of a civil war. It is not internationally recognized as a separate state, but it has a democratically elected government and has enjoyed greater stability than the rest of Somalia. The legacy of the war, the lack of infrastructure, and a recurring drought have made it one of the regions with the lowest literacy rates in the world. According to data from 2022 from the UN Children's Agency, UNICEF, around 3 in every 4 adults cannot read and write, and 1 child in 4 is not in school. In 2019, the Somaliland government and UNICEF announced a joint investment in education, aimed at reaching more children and ensuring they could complete at least their primary education. But even so, progress has been slow and big challenges remain. A lot of the population are pastoralists and rural. They are isolated. Some of them are on the move, says Peter Kwamo, Education Chief at UNICEF, Somalia. And it's not just Somaliland. Somalia and South Sudan have a similar large population like that. It's very difficult sometimes to sustain education with those children and those families, he adds. The issue of how to reach those kids has been the focus of many education projects in the region, launched both by the local authorities and international NGOs. But Ismail Ahmed and his charity, the Sahamiye Foundation, believe they have found the perfect formula to work around it. Mr. Ahmed left Somaliland for the UK as a refugee in his early 20s. His life is quite an extraordinary journey. He studied in some of London's top business schools and got a job at the United Nations, the UN. But he was fired after he alleged corruption within the organisation and, with the compensation he was awarded for being wrongly dismissed, he launched a successful money transfer app world remit. When he stepped down from leading the company, he created the Sahamiye Foundation to give back to his community, he says. He tells me that during the COVID lockdown, as he was trying to teach Somali to his children in London, he came up with the idea of using mobile phones to tackle the learning crisis in his country of origin. Dariz was his brainchild. The app is free and can work offline, enabling people in remote areas and on the move to use it. Mr. Ahmed is confident this is the way of the future. It used to take us to go to class to learn our own mother tongue, he says, and now we have thousands of users who were able to be functionally literate in their own tongue without going to class. About 10 kilometers, roughly 6 miles, outside Hargeisa, Mubarak Mahdi is taking his camels out to pasture. When he was a child, he could only go to school for 2 years, and he does not remember much. Doing business had become difficult for him. With most people nowadays using mobile payment apps like Zad, Mr. Mahdi was struggling even to read his customers' names on payment slips, he says. So now, as his camels are scattered in the field, feeding on thick green bushes, Mr. Mahdi sits in the shade of a tree and mumbles slowly the words on his screen. He says thanks to learning on his phone, he has become more confident dealing with his customers on his mobile and has even started buying books. Back in Hargeisa, as she is washing the dishes in her employer's kitchen, Miss Artan says learning to read has changed her perspective. I feel that I no longer belong to where I was yesterday, she says proudly. For the future, I hope to secure a more fulfilling position than my current job and use my skills and knowledge to succeed. So a really lovely article today. I really enjoy this article, and it's wonderful to see that more and more people in Somaliland are becoming more educated using technology, using their phones and using an app. It's really great to see. And this article has been absolutely stacked full of wonderful words. I can't go through all of them because the video would be far too long, but let's go through some of the words that are my favorite for you guys to add into your vocabulary. So the first word is aspire. Aspire. And that is to direct one's hopes or ambitions towards achieving something. For example, we never thought that we might aspire to those heights. That's the word aspire. The next word that I love is remarkable. Remarkable. And that means worthy of attention or striking. For example, it was a remarkable coincidence. The next word is comprehend. Comprehend. And that is to grasp mentally and to understand something. For example, he couldn't comprehend her reasons for marrying Lovett. Comprehend. The next word is unique. Unique. Being the only one of its kind, unlike anything else. For example, this discovery was unique in history. That's the word unique. The next word is recurring. Recurring, and that means occurring again, periodically, or repeatedly. For example, gratitude is a recurring theme in the book. That's the word recurring. The next word that was relevant to this article is literacy. Literacy. That's the ability to read and write. For example, tests of literacy and numeracy. And then finally, we have the word fulfilling. 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 And that is making someone satisfied or happy through allowing their character or abilities to develop fully. For example, a fulfilling and rewarding career. That's the word fulfilling. A lovely, lovely word there. So lots of great words that you guys can go away and start to use in your conversations. Go and have a practice today and see how you get on. But what's the education system like in your country? Are you using technology to improve your education, to learn English? Tell me in the comments below how you're using technology to help you with your education. And until tomorrow's article, have a great day. Speak to you soon.